Okay, so I'm almost done with the Greedfall, but the game, just like I said in the beginning, during my first videos on the series, and then really piqued my interest. It didn't really make me feel interested in the game. I did play everything, pretty much all the side quests except for the ones which I needed to establish a camps and find some notes spread, which were spread throughout the various maps of the game. But like I said, the game didn't really make me feel very interested. It didn't really make me feel invested into its story, into the characters. And one of the bigger things which contributed to that I actually ended up realizing is that the voice acting is pretty bad. And now that's understandable for a game which was made by like 40 people, something like that. It's very much understandable. I understand, but it's still pretty bad. I believe that they should have focused a bit more on that, and also not having made a better combat, because the combat as a mage is horrible. When you play as one of the other characters, as one of the other classes, I believe it's a bit better. But as a mage, it's really bad because you just you stand back, you shoot your magic balls, you kill the enemies, but it doesn't really deviate much from that. It's just very repetitive. And another thing which I noticed was the lack of enemy variety, because most of the enemies you fight basically the same way, and you fight so many animals and beasts that the game itself becomes very repetitive. And also the missions themselves, even though they have very interesting stories, very interesting plots, you don't actually do much. That's the problem here with this. You don't do anything very different from that, because you have to talk to this person, and then you have to go to the other side of the map to talk to that other third person, and going to that camp area is always obligated, right? It's always forced upon you to spend some time on that camp area, because I believe they wanted to cut down the amount of loading screens which show up in the game, and there are a lot of them. But still, uh, I believe I would rather have a loading screen than have to go through that camp area, which I was supposed to prepare myself for the next part of the missions. I'd rather just have a loading screen, and I believe it would have been even better to just have set loading screen, because then they would not have to load the camp area and then the map that I was going to. It would have been much better. Okay, so I'm nearing the end of the game, and I'm just very much more interested in playing Gears of War 5 than actually watching how the game is going to be end up like. I don't really care about what's going to happen to Constantine, because he was never really the sort of character that I was ever invested on. And if any of the other characters die, I mean, I won't really care. I won't really care, because were all just really bad. They were just very mundane, very average. But yeah, I wish that the game was a bit better in some aspects. But still, I know uh, it really is the kind of game which could have been a bit better. It could have been, if it was made by BioWare, the old BioWare, not by the current BioWare. It would have been much better. I believe it would have been a masterpiece. And this game indeed had the potential to be a very good game, got a Game of the Year candidate. But since it was made by a very small studio, which noticed this gap here in the gaming world created by BioWare, because BioWare started making very good RPGs, and they decided to try to make it a game just like theirs, just like their old and good Dragon Age games. They made something which almost scratched the itch of mine, but I still feel like, okay, I really need a proper Dragon Age, not something like Dragon Age Inquisition, but something like Dragon Age Origins, because Origins and even 2, those were good Dragon Age games, but Dragon Age Inquisition was not. But anyway, these should be my final thoughts for the game. when the game ends, I'm not going to make another video. And for now, that's it. I'll see you guys later.